Hey everyone, it's Josh, lead designer over at Brindle. I wanted to walk you through the process of creating and adding a HubSpot form to your QuickPop pop-ups. And that would be in the form of embedding a HubSpot form through a really quick process. What you're going to find is that we've added support, dedicated support, rather than the previous version, which still supported the forms, but had some kind of random behavior depending on your individual setup. So this new embed functionality adds dedicated support, just so you know that it's going to work exactly as expected right out of the box. We have that option now for HubSpot and MailChimp. MailChimp, I will do that in a separate video, which I'll link to in the description here. So on the Content tab, after installing your latest version, if you scroll down, you'll see a new drop-down called Embed Third-Party Form. And of course, for this demo, we're going to select HubSpot. Now, we're going to keep this very simple because it is simple. I mean, that's all there is to it. You're just going to need, after you create a HubSpot form, you're going to need these 3 items. Rather than embedding the whole form, this makes sure that the form behaves exactly how you'd expect it to. So we won't go into setting up everything else on the pop-up. We've gone ahead and created this one for the sake of the demo. And then you're going to identify these 3 fields for reference. We've already pre-filled them, but I'll walk you through where you're going to get these. So I recommend installing the HubSpot plugin. This makes it all easier. It makes it so you don't have to log into HubSpot through the HubSpot website. You'll have it right here in WordPress admin. So you'll just navigate to HubSpot and then you'll go down to forms here. You can also do that, of course, on HubSpot in your account. And this is all bearing in mind you've created a free account. You don't need a paid service for HubSpot. This is supported through their free version. So we're going to navigate to forms, and I've opened that in a new tab. I've created a few forms here for our site, but for the sake of this one, I will show you how to create a new one. So on this Forms tab in the WP admin, again, this is the HubSpot plugin. It's going to look very similar. If you're on HubSpot, you'll just go to Forms there, and you're going to create a new form. And you're going to select the Embedded Form option when it says Choose Your Form Type. Let's go ahead and select that, click Next. And we support all of these forms. So let's just go ahead and go with registration. Keeping it very simple, let's go ahead and click Start. So with HubSpot, this is, check out the HubSpot documentation and everything, but setting up your form with HubSpot is very simple. They will take you through a tour of doing that. It's all very straightforward. If you've used any form builder, you can drag, drop, and include or exclude any of these forms that you want to appear on your form for QuickPop. We'll just move forward assuming we want all of these. And you can name your pop-up here. You can also style it, but we recommend just leaving it as a white background. What you could do is match your background to the container design color, this pop-up container color. In this example, we're keeping it white just to keep it simple. But if you used a different color like blue or something, you would make it blue in this style and preview for the background. But for the sake of this example, we'll just keep it white, keep it very simple. Once you're done completing the details of your form, you're just going to hit Submit and then click Publish. So it says your form is ready, so that means HubSpot has created it and it's ready to use. And you'll get a very simple embed form, but this isn't what you want. If you remember, we need the form ID, the region, and the portal ID. So what we're going to do is go ahead and close that, and then we'll go back to forms and open the one that we just created. So we are going to click Edit, And then we will click the embed button that you see right here. And then after that, you'll find this tab that says embed code. So unfortunately, it wants to select everything here, so you can't select the individual things. So what I suggest is you copy the entire embed code and you open a text editor and paste it there. So at that point, it's really easy to find the fields that you need. Form ID is this number here within the quotes. Don't include those. We're just going to replace this one. Region is probably always going, it's going to be the same because I'm in North America, so region's North America in A1. And then the portal ID, which is basically tied to your account. So that's always going to be the same also. So when you create multiple HubSpot form pop-ups, everything's going to be the same except the form ID. After you create your first and duplicate it, you'll only need to change the form ID if you want to have different HubSpot forms. Okay, and after you've updated with these 3 fields and selected HubSpot, you'll also want to make sure everything is set up properly in your pop-up itself. The preview will, of course, let you preview the style of everything else in the pop-up. Unfortunately, if you're used to using HubSpot, you'll know that their forms won't render until you see it on the front end. That's one caveat that we can't really do anything about. For basic styling of the overall pop-up and for every other feature of QuickPop, you can preview it here. So what I've done is set this up as a lower left-hand pop-up that comes in from the left. I've set the position to bottom left, and I set the animation to slide in from left. And of course, saved all of my settings. I have set that up to appear, let me go back here. I have set that to appear only on the QuickPop demos page. This feature, of course, lets you choose the exact pages you want this pop-up to appear on. And since this is a delay pop-up, which automatically appears after so many seconds, I've only wanted it to appear here so people can see the demo. For the sake of the demo also, I'm shutting off the cookie settings. So you can set it to snooze the pop-up after it is closed. That means it won't keep opening for people that return to the page based on a set number of days. So just so I know it fires, I'm going to turn that off. 3 seconds after page load, that should appear. 1, 2, 3. There it is. And just like how you set up your HubSpot form, that's going to appear right within your pop-up form. So that, just to clarify, that's going to appear under your headline and any text or other content that you've placed in the body field of the content tab. So I've put some basic text there, and you can see the text here. If I had added a header, it would of course appear here. You can also add images and things. Your form's always going to appear underneath that content. And that about wraps it up for the tutorial on how to add HubSpot forms to QuickPop. It's very easy, takes a matter of minutes. It's a great way to collect more contacts and to build your email list. And again, we do have support for MailChimp forms as well. It's a very similar process. And we are integrating dedicated support for other third-party email collection services in the near future. And they're going to be just as easy to implement as the demo that we've given you today. And thanks a lot.